We got the Dirty Bird, Tim Means. Usually he's on Skype with us so we get video, but it's that time of year, Christmas shopping. So he's actually out shopping with his family right now, stuck in holiday traffic, so we decided to move it to phone. Tim, how you been? What's been going on since, let's see, it's been about 2 or 3 months since we spoke last. What's been going on since then?
Just school, watch the kids do their homework, getting in shape, and, getting through the holidays. So, things have slowed down a bit court-wise, so that's a good thing.
Oh, good, okay. So talk to me with a family. Obviously Thanksgiving came and went. The day of this recording, it's Christmas Eve, so it's the 23rd. You've got to watch Christmas dinner. You had to watch Thanksgiving dinner. You got to be on your diet, got to watch what's going on. With your kids, though, it's actually not as bad as it sounds, right? Because you get to see your kids have great fun. You get to see them eat the food that you want to eat, even though you got to stay on your diet. So it's really not as much of a suffering position for you, is it?
Yeah, if I see a piece of pie or something that I want, I just have one of the family members eat it, and I just watch them, It's cool seeing everybody smile, and it's cool being by everybody for the holidays. Like I didn't get to miss out on Thanksgiving. My weight was good enough where I got to eat on Thanksgiving. My wife actually fought the day after Thanksgiving, so she had to miss Thanksgiving. This time around, I get to watch on Christmas, but we did 3 different Christmases. So we did one side of the family's Christmas on last Sunday, so I got to eat a little bit on that day, a little bit more than I wanted, than I can't have right now. And then Sunday, I actually have to just watch and eat my cucumbers and carrots. But at least I'm thankful I'm getting to eat something. So at least I'm thankful for that. You know what I mean? It could go where I'm not getting to eat at all. So
it's funny. We're saying we're talking about first world problems. You've got to skip a meal because you got to make weight for something, not because you don't have the food. So it's definitely a first world issue.
Right.
So how'd your wife do in her fight day after Thanksgiving?
She did good. She won by a first round TKO. She was able to finally utilize some of her tools that she has. She's had some back-to-back injuries that were kind of slowing her down in her previous fights. She fought for the King of the Cage world title, not this last fight, but the one before, with a pretty bad knee injury and lower back injury. I wanted to pull her out of the fight, but she's stubborn and hung in there, wound up losing a decision in that fight. But she was pretty healthy her last fight, got a little builder fight, and she did really well, man. Found her timing in the range and showed that she possesses pretty good boxing and power in her hands. So that's what we're trying to get out of her, and just show that to everybody on the regional circuit. And she tried out for the Ultimate Fighters a few years back. Winded up, had a contract issue in Japan, went out there to take care of that, and in the fight, she wound up getting her back taken. She had to put her hand down as they were falling and blew out her elbow. And she's just been trying to get, from there on, it was just kind of one thing after another for her, but she's in a healthy state right now, and it showed in her last fight, so she looked good.
So be honest, how is she during training camp? I mean, you rely on her a lot, she relies on you a lot, but training camp, it becomes difficult.
Yeah, she's a pain in the ass. I love her. I understand I'm a pain too. So we learn how to mingle that, and we understand each other's struggles there. So we kind of have a little bit of patience, and then we're kind of at each other's throats or whatever. But we help each other out a lot. She helps a lot with my meal plans and cooking, and she's constantly cleaning the house and laundry. And man, laundry's never ending. By the way, laundry is always there. It's crazy, So.
Just look at 2 outfits a day for you. Well, 3 outfits, really. The 2 you wear for practice, the 1 you wear throughout the day. Add in your wife, she's got 3. That's 6 outfits a day you've got to wash. And then add in kids.
Man, dude, that's the real fight right there. Then laundry detergent and all that. It's like, man, I just bought laundry detergent. We're only 40 loads in. So, I don't know, man. It's been a lot of stuff. There's been a lot of things going on, staying busy, staying responsible, and, another year gone. It's absolutely crazy, man. This year started off excellent and then had the funky turn, and now it's ending good. And you just never know what's around the next corner, and that's what makes life exciting.
Right, and that's one of the reasons why you're drawn to MMA so much too, because of that uncertainty.
Absolutely.
So we've talked about it, and if you guys want to see it, go back to some of my earlier interviews with Tim. We talked about the struggle when he got hit with a supplement problem, and financially struggling through everything, trying to get his stuff together, and it's a real thing. But it's also one of the reasons why everyone gets drawn to MMA, because of that uncertainty of what's going to go on. But this card, this December 30th card, is shaping up to be pretty stinking good. I mean, it's definitely turned out to be a great card, top to bottom. It's another one of those. It seems like every time you're on the card, it seems to be one of those you've got to watch from the very first fight of the night. That's on Fight Pass if you're not there live, all the way through the pay-per-view. You have to watch every single fight because every fight's got fireworks in it. Of the fights that's on the card, I mean, obviously everyone's going to say the main event, co-main event. Is there another fight that you're kind of interested in, even though you're going to be busy trying to prep and trying to fight on your own?
You know what, man? I'm interested in the Cruz fight. I know that's one of the main events or whatever. The Cruz fight and then Garbrandt fight is a good one. I like. You know, I off the top of my head right now, I can't think of the other fights, but that's not to say that there aren't any good fights. There's a bunch of them that I'm interested in. I just can't think at the moment. Got so many things going on, but well, the only negative thing I can say about this card is once I get done, I have to stay downstairs and in the green room meeting watching it on TV. You know, so it'd be a cool card to get out there and feel the environment rather than only walking out for the fight and not getting to go back out there. But this is an outstanding card. I thought UFC 206 lived up to it wasn't getting enough credit, and that card was just above expectations. And there's a lot of fun fights like that on this card on UFC 207. So from Fight Pass all the way up, man, like you said, you have to watch from the beginning to the end of every fight because it really is a toss-up in every matchup. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a whole lot of huge favorites maybe in the two main events, but I really see those fights could easily it's a fist fight, man. It could easily go the other way, you know. So there's never a guaranteed favorite in my opinion.
It's interestingly enough, the Amanda Nunes and Ronda Rousey fight actually is getting closer and closer. It's not that much of a difference when it opened up from a betting standpoint. Right. So that fight is actually really close as well. And then it really is. These fights are very evenly matched, and it goes to Joe Silva, the matchmaker, who of course is walking away at the end of this fight. He's retiring out. It goes to show like how important his job is. Like he's really putting together really good fights, not only for the fans but for the fighters themselves, where it's going to be very difficult. They've got to have great training camps. They've got to be dialed in, and they've got to be ready to go. You can't just kind of call the fight in thinking you're going to beat this guy because you're a 6-1 favorite, you know. So these fights are really close.
Yeah.
So how do you see your opponent's Alex Oliveira? How do you see this fight breaking down with Alex? Because this is a great fight for you. Like this is a super tight fight. But I want to see what your breakdown is of it.
I think all his strengths play into my strengths. He likes to get inside and get to that body lock. He has a very long reach that he doesn't really utilize a whole lot. He's either way outside, throwing stuff to get in and get to body locks, get you on the fence, grind you out. And I think that stuff he's going to get caught slipping, stepping into something or trying to rush with his hands down. Very, very low hands out of the guy, you know, and it's kind of crazy that that's worked for him up until this point. But you can look from the outside in saying, hey, it looks like that guy's easy to hit, and then it's the exact opposite when you're standing there. So I'm expecting him. He's going to want to wrestle. He's going to throw some little spin kicks and some little teeps and stuff, but ultimately get inside and get to a body lock and try to win the fight from there. Which you get inside, I have elbows, and I'm very comfortable with him, you know, from previous fights. So he kind of got stuck in a triangle against Cerrone where the triangle wasn't really locked up all that well, and he tapped. So I don't know if that's saying something between lines or if it was just a late replacement fight for him or whatever. But he beat Will Brooks, who's super tough, and the guy's just game, man. He shows up. He's usually on weight. I'm not really sure what happened with his last instance, missing by 6 pounds or whatever. But he looks to be a big welterweight. So very dangerous guy, hungry guy, and you know, it's just a fun stylistic matchup. He plays into my strengths, and I think I'm better at each one of those things.
When you watch tape on these guys, do you actually look at the losses more or look at the wins more, or does it matter? You're just looking at tells and footage?
I'll watch the first round to see how they start, and I'll watch the last round to see how they're reacting when they're tired, and then I leave it to Tom, and I start remembering the things I'm good at, and I keep it at that.
You know what? That was my style as well. I watched the first round, the last round, just to kind of see what would happen. And I didn't hear very many other fighters that do that. You're one of the only other guys that know that actually sit down and watch just the first and third and let the rest of the team, let the rest of your coaches handle everything else. You just like, I just want to see how they react. Is that something that was taught to you, or is that just your natural way of going about it?
I think Tom Vaughn influenced it with me not to watch too much tape because then you forget what you're good at and start thinking about what they're good at, you know. So over the years, it just got to where, you know, we'll pick a few guys out of the gym that mimics their size and height and all that, and we'll give them tape and let them try to mimic the guy as much as possible. And the guys we have at the gym, and Steve Hanna and Oliver Parker and Sadaya and those guys, they mimic the style really, really well. You know, I think Steve Hanna is the exact same size as this guy, arm reach, everything, so identical looks. And the team just does a good job at breaking the style down. They study the tape, and I let them give the look, and you know, it's something that's worked for me. I've been in the past where, you know, I've watched too much film and got it in my head. Oh no, you know, kind of made it like it's impossible to win the fight or whatever in my own head. I just try to stay away from that stuff now and remember the tools that I have that they've gotten me to this point.
So what does this fight mean for you? I mean, obviously, after the win, you get to go celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving, and New Year's all at the same time and catch up on your eating. But what else does this fight mean to you? What's it going to do for you propelling into 2017?
Just keeping a win streak. We've been renegotiating my contracts on the third fight, you know, and I've been asked if I'm going to test free agency or whatever, and I'm not interested in no free agency. I'm not interested. I've been cut from the UFC. I've been suspended, whatever. I understand that, you know, they write the checks where we're able to make this a career, and not going back to $1,500 fights or $500 fights, which is ridiculous. But this right here just gets another feather in my cap, gets me more experience on the lights, and gets ultimately only my second fight done this year. So I'm really chomping at the bit to get out there and get into a fist fight. You know, the emotions that the holidays bring and Christmas brings and all that, and it's just going to be a fun time to be able to vent going into the new year right after Christmas, right after you spend your money and right after you are jumping through lanes of traffic and crazy shoppers, you know what I mean? So right now it's just this fight, man. That's all I'm really thinking about is this guy. I called him out, you know, because I felt I lost some momentum to him back when he stepped in for me. It's just a reason for me not to like the guy in my head. And some people frown on that stuff, but when I try to like the guy or whatever, it turns into more like a sparring match and not a fist fight. And I've been cut and I've been suspended, man, and this is an important job for me. I got to keep it, and I got to win impressively.
That's Tim Means. He's got Alex Oliveira coming up here, UFC 207, December 30th. Obviously in Las Vegas, the T-Mobile Arena. Ronda Rousey and Amanda Nunes is the main event, with Cruz and Gourbin as the co-main event. So, Tim, man, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you spending some time, especially during the holiday shopping time too, man. I know family time for you is important, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Trick. Merry Christmas, man. Good talking to you.
You too, man. Have a great New Year. I know it's going to be a blast for you because you'll be done with your fight and be ready to eat and at least take a couple of days off and heal up from any kind of small injury you get at the fight.
Yeah, I'm going to kick the brakes off some leftovers. That's going to be the next fight I pick as soon as I'm done. So, yeah.
I love it. All right, Tim, take care, man. We'll talk soon.
Later, man. Bye.